We're still talking cricket, women's cricket in the spotlight now, and the South Africa women comprehensively beat the West Indies by 8 wickets in the first one-day international at the Coolidge Cricket Ground in Antigua to take a 1-0 lead in the 5-match series. After winning the toss and electing to bat, the West Indies struggled to get things moving and were skittled out for 153 in 46.4 overs, with Kaisia Knight top scoring with 39, Deandra Dottin 38 and Brittany Cooper 25. They were the only batters to cross double figures. South Africa in reply breezed to their target with 63 balls to spare, ending on 157 for 2, with opener Lizelle Lee top scoring with an unbeaten 91 scores in the match. There you see there the West Indies 153, South Africa went 157 for 2. To compound the West Indies problem, they will be without their leader Stefani Taylor for the rest of the series after the all-rounder took a personal leave of absence. The next match in the series is on Friday, but before we begin our preview of that second match, let's join cricket commentator Vernon Springer for his take on what transpired in the opening fixture. Well, I was watching a lot of the early action there, Vernon, and I would have to say for a long period at the top of the West Indies innings, they just weren't getting the ball out the square.
A new day, and I think it's a day that they would want to forget, where you could say 4 ODI games to go without their captain. They have to rebound. But I think what has to happen is that the senior players in the team, which would mean the most experienced players as the Deandra Dottin and the Haley Matthews and the Shedeen Nation, as you know, Brittany Cooper had to retire hurt. You know, she batted for a period of time. We hope that she'll be ready to go for Friday's game. I think game awareness, and I keep talking about that all the time, Lance. The senior players in the team will have to step up in a very big way. If you look at the South African team, Lizelle Lee and Laura Wolfhard, they're the 2 most experienced players in the South African batting lineup. And so you realize that they would have had a start of 88 as compared to the West Indies. So Lizelle Lee, she would have spent some time at the crease, batted for 134 minutes. Only one batsman for the West Indies team batted for at least an hour, and that's Kaisia Knight. So it now means to you that the Haley Matthews, the Deandra Dottin, have to spend some time at the crease. Plus, I think that the West Indies also have to look at their combination of their bowling. I don't think the South African batters play the spin very well. And if you look at the stats, the spinners in Anna Joseph, Haley Matthews, Karishma Ramnarak, and Anisa Mohammed, they would have bowled 29.3 overs between them, 98 runs score, 119 dot balls between that period of play. They had 7 fours and 1 6. Now, if you compare that, Lance, to Isan, you would realize that that's a complete different lineup.
Yeah.
And you would have had Aline, Henry, and Dottin. Right. Bowled 10 overs between them, 56 runs, 9 boundaries, 44 dot balls. So my take would be, I think that Deandra Dottin maybe needs to bowl a little bit more. And the West Indies team, because they're without their captain, need to sort out their batting. They need to get another batter in the team. And I would feel, I don't see Renisa Boyce in the first 13, but I think that they have to make some adjustments because the bowling is not a problem, Marian Lance. The batting is what you really want to be able to beef up. And I think they need another batter.
Definitely, and of course, Springer, for too long, we've been going with the same team and, they've been using the same woman, hoping that they capitalize on what we know they can do, and of course, not giving. As you mentioned, Renise Boyce not a part of the team, and that opened a lot of eyes because you can't have the bowlers doing what you expect them to do, and then when it's time to put on a big total, that seems as if it just can't happen.
If you look, the West Indies innings, 190 dot balls. And you heard what Lance said. It almost looked at some point in time as if
nothing was happening.
Nothing was happening until Deandra Dottin came in. And even when Dottin came in, where Dottin got out, there was no need for that. Because I'm saying the mindset has to tell you, hey, if I bat all 50 overs here at the Coolidge Cricket Ground, West Indies is going to get 250 and up.
True.
Got a start. So she had a start. She's getting starts. What is not happening, she's not spending enough time at the crease.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to struggle. Sometimes you have to be scratchy. You have to just spend some time. I think if Dottin just makes her mind up and decides that she wants to bat, nobody's getting Dottin out yet. I haven't seen anybody from Pakistan to South Africa get Dottin out yet. Dottin is just getting herself out.
Yeah.
Same thing for Haley Matthews.
Right. And you know, Vernon, when you were responding to Lance, you mentioned Brittany Cooper retiring hurt. What I noticed with the Windies women is a lot of the players are, you know, getting injured or retiring hurt. Doesn't that concern you in some way?
More than concerns me, because I am also trying to figure out in terms of the training methods. And when I talk about the training methods, I'm talking about preparation before game time. Yesterday, you saw Shady Nation getting treatment. Knight came off the field when Issa Boyce had to come and keep. But a number of players, you know, coming off. It's intense. They live in a bubble situation. This is again another pressurized situation in terms of what's happening. But I have to give credit to the physio for the West Indies women's team, because boy, he's been on the go all the time. He doesn't keep quiet, and I think it's a major concern for a lot of folks. There's a lot of cricket. This is something completely new, and I just wish that they have the best team out on the park, especially going in for these next 4 games, because South Africa certainly have come with a game plan. The West Indies are going to be able to have to make sure that they assert themselves, and I just feel that West Indian spinners can give the South African batters some problem. Also want to make sure, like in the T20 game that they played at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, it's a different track. The tracks at the Coolidge cricket ground, the ball tend to turn more.
Yeah.
At the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, the ball comes on nicer.
Yeah.
So the pacers for the West Indies will do well.
Yeah.
I just feel that we got to concentrate on our strength, which is spin.
Yeah. I want to wrap the segment, though, Vernon, by just asking you quickly about the transition from the T20 game to the 50-over game, because I know there would be a different mindset as they start an innings, and I want to put some numbers to the point that I made earlier on, because at the end of the 10th over in this opening game, the West Indies were 12 for 2. Now, it's a limited overs game, and after 10 overs, whether it's T20 cricket or, well, certainly not 50-over cricket, certainly not T20 cricket, but you can't be 12 for 2 after 10 overs. It almost seemed as if the top order batters were intent on not getting out, because they have 50 overs to bat and not 20 overs to bat. And I just want to ask you there about the mindset transitioning from T20 cricket to 50-over cricket and how it may have affected them.
Well, I don't think it would have really affected them. I think based on how, if you look at how Haley Matthews got out and you look at how Kashana Knight got out, you would realize that they were going for big shots. And so, you know, they would have lost their shape. So this is something that I seriously think that they will still have to work on. Clearly, Matthews is going to open, which she has to open for the West Indies team. She's a good enough player to understand that she has to spend some time again at the crease. Everything is not going to go as smoothly as she would like. I would just like to see her getting out to that ball a little bit more, at least staying a little lower to the ball. Same thing for Kashana Knight. She's looked good. The ball is coming off of her bat. And the rotational strike, I think, is going to be important in terms of the run in between the wickets, of getting singles. 190 dot balls, totally unacceptable. And just quickly before I go, Lance, I want to congratulate the West Indies under-19 team.
Yes.
Their victory today. We really have to give some credit to that young man from Grenada, the Bishop.
Teddy Bishop.
He's put his hand up.
Yeah.
And so I think that the rest of the team can only go from strength to strength. You had some newcomers that came in today, made a difference. Nathan Edwards, and the Lane from Barbados, young fast bowler, wait for a 6. So the series could be a little bit more closer than England really think.
Yeah.
I think I would say that I feel real glad to see the talent in England.
Yes.
And especially the rest of the talent that we still have in the Caribbean.
Good point.
A lot of work still to do.
Good point, Vernon, because English conditions wouldn't be easy for these players who pretty much all of them would have been playing there for the first time. But we're going to leave it there, Vernon, and we look forward to see what the West Indies girls do on Friday in the next ODI. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Yeah, still a lot of cricket to come on the SportsMax Zone. We go to break and we'll be back after this.